Is your whole band straight edge?
I'm straight edge.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole band straight edge.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know, dude. I'm asking questions. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm trying to find out more about you guys.
So I'm what's known as a sellout.
Okay. Yeah.
It had to come out one way or another. It might as well be on the Garza.
Don't worry.
Garza podcast.
We've already beat it. We've already beat his ass.
Yeah. Freudian slip. Yeah, I got the shit beat out of me.
Oh my goodness.
No, not really.
Blood in, blood out.
You know, it was funny because legitimately, like, I was scared to tell everybody.
Yeah,
how do
you bring it up?
And obviously, the person I was most scared with, I went in order of least scary. So I started with our drummer who's no longer in the band, and then I ended with Josh. And so I kind of just went down. And then when I told Josh, I was so scared, blah, blah, and his response was basically like, hey, you're a grown man, and I'm a grown man. Why are you wasting my time with this? You're my friend, and I love you no matter what. But
I woke up at like 7:15 a.m. to a text like the length of Lord of the Rings.
Did you text it?
Yeah,
I texted. Yeah. I was in Mexico at the time. We were getting ready to fly out to a European
I was
tour.
also like, when I saw the text, I was like, here we go. Something so
else,
bad has happened. Like the band's over. You know, like, I don't know what's...
When you see a long text, you get a little, like, that little feeling. It's like, oh, it's
because
gonna be...
it's triggering because I used to, years ago, before I met my wife, I was in a relationship that was filled with a lot of long texts.
Oh, no.
And let me tell you.
One of those texts?
So now,
so
now I'm like, it's like PTSD. If I get a long text or like if it says like 19 text messages by the same person, I'm oh,
one
God,
of those relationships?
Here we go. Wow. And so I thought that was Jesse's. And I was like, what have I done now? And then actually what I replied back with was a couple of days before he sent me the text, me and some friends like had like a picnic. You know, it was like a Sunday, nice day. We're like, oh, let's grab some food and go chill at a park. And there's this, I live in Highland Park, and there's this old school soda pop store by my house. It's called Galco's.
Okay.
And it sells like all these different sodas from all over the world. And it's like super like 50s doo-wop vibe inside, and has all this like candy like Cracker Jacks and blah, blah, blah. And we found candy. Yeah, there it is. We found candy cigarettes. And so we were at the park, like smoking, quote unquote, smoking candy cigarettes, like fucking just being dumbasses.
So it's candy though.
Yeah, or bubblegum cigarettes. So it's like gum in the shape of a. You ever had those when you were a kid?
Not shaped like a cigarette.
It's
no.
like,
You never had a bubblegum cigarette pack?
Yeah, it's classic.
It's
Bro,
like,
what?
Dude, they're so cool. It's like I think they're called Roundup.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a whole
like
bunch of them?
there's
Really?
like Roundup. Yeah, there is Roundup.
What?
Right?
Oh, that looks scary.
Yeah.
Cigarettes for kids,
It
bro.
looks cool.
That is fucked.
Because like smoking does look cool.
It does, yeah.
You know,
It
does.
And like whenever you puff on it, there's like
Dust or
There's
something.
like dust, like it's like sugar powder that like comes out. So we're grown men. And
This is kind of fucked up. This is
Oh yeah, it's super fucked
It
up.
was so normal when we were kids. I'm like, what?
So we're grown men walking on a park on a Sunday, like, and me and my friend Gino had like snapped a picture of us. So when I got that huge text from Jesse, I just responded with that picture, but in invisible ink, and I just said, "We all have our secrets." That was my response to the text.
There was a nicer, longer response after that, but for sure, that was my
What?
That was my breaking it to everyone. I actually never officially told Adam.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I just showed up to my first Euro tour, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, part of the decision of me joining the band was like, oh, I'm joining, like, a straight edge band. Sick.
That was also one of the reasons why we were like, all right, this guy works. He's straight edge.
Yeah, and then I show up, and first day, he's just ripping a J with our fucking front of house guy behind the bus, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, or whatever.
Here's the thing.
What the hell?
People often want to know what my hottest take is. Weed straight edge.
Yeah.
It should be.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a hot take.
Every straight edge kid I know
Call me
needs
old
it,
fashioned.
dude. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I hear stories of actually, Josh. Maybe you can actually add to this. Like, was it? It was Keith from Throwdown. He would say that they would go to Florida, and they would X up, and they would be smoking cigarettes in front of him.
I don't know about that.
No?
I saw some shit like that in Pennsylvania one.
Yeah, I grew
okay.
up.
Can someone explain to me? I'm not sure if I'm understanding what he's saying.
He's saying that Keith said he believes that Keith said that whenever Throwdown would go on tour and they would go to Florida, they would see people Xing up.
Oh, and
And then
smoking.
smoke.
Oh.
And I tried to
but
claim
they're
me
also
straight
some-
edge.
What if they were just at a bar though, and they had
like
X's
X's, just- yeah.
because they couldn't drink?
No, I think
Yeah.
there were legit X's.
Growing
Yeah.
up,
I'm not a little like Sharpie X.
I'm gonna say
They're-
something.
they're bold.
I'm gonna say something my dad said to me growing up.
Okay.
I believe that you believe that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Man.
I grew up in Florida and I never saw that.
Okay.
There were a couple of occasions where someone would put an O on their hand,
I see. I remember the O. Yeah.
and then they would just get the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah, I owe up now.
By
They
the,
X up.
by
I
the
owe
people
up.
with the X's on their hands.
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure that this is the O that we're speaking of.
It might be. Honestly, who cares?
How long were you straight edge?
My whole life,
Whole life.
from 0 to 33.
It's a while.
Yeah.
33 years, nothing.
Yep.
What made you?
33? I don't think I found out till you were 35.
It's possible.
Yeah. What made you try weed?
So my brother's been a stoner my entire life, and he was actually. My brother might have been in the band like OG Suicide Silence, Stick to Your Guns days. I wouldn't expect you to remember anything like that, but he was really. I got prescribed like an anti-anxiety medication.
Okay.
And he was basically like, "Look, I respect, all your shit, but you should really try this first before you try that."
Try weed.
Yeah, exactly. And so we started with like tinctures and all the like hippy dippy kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
it was I found it incredibly helpful because I couldn't sleep, waking up in the sweats. I mean, it's not it's not something that we all haven't experienced, but it got to a point where it was so bad that I was like, I think I might need to see someone. And
Driven to madness by anxiety.
exactly. So it and it's not like a cure all by any means. Like you still have to like work on it. But as I'm sure they can all tell you, my brain sometimes like goes at like 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's hard to slow down.
Exactly. And so when I smoke it like slows that down, so I'm able to like think a little clearer. You know what I mean?
Clearer, really?
Yeah, way clearer.
Whoa.
Way clearer. Way clearer.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, and I would actually say, like, I mean this in no disrespect.
Sure, absolutely.
But I think this is the best version of Jesse Barnett I've ever known.
I tell that to everybody.
Yeah.
People wish I would have started smoking way earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
when was
emotionally confusing for me.
this is a very confusing podcast. It's fine. Okay, so how long ago was this?
33.
Okay. So
And
how?
I'm this is the side effect. This is the
You're
downside.
37, right?
How old am I?
But yeah,
wow.
37. Yeah.
Wow.
And another just like a funny little thing is how high my tolerance is. Just like out of
Out of the gate.
yeah, like
Out of the
really
gates,
a
dude.
problem. Yeah, it's like I can't do edibles or things like that. They just do not work.
It don't work.
I have to take like 80 milligrams in order for me to feel something.
80?
Yeah. Whoa. And that's too expensive, bro. That's too expensive for me.
Oh, your band's crazy, man. Wow.
Band?
Yeah.
No, they're normal. They
Wow.
take 0 milligrams.
Wow.
You're taking all the milligrams for us.
Exactly. I have to take everybody's milligrams.
Okay, yes, you guys already answered my my next question. How is it seeing someone straight edge for so many years? I mean, you guys are legit lifers, and then you see someone smoke, and then you see the change.
I mean, actually emotionally confusing,
Yeah.
because it's just like, oh shit, like there's no doubt about it that I can, if I was to A/B Jesse, before and after, I'm like, oh yeah, like he's just I feel like he's even taking care of himself better, but like his attitude, his interactions, his ability to communicate, like everything, is so much better. And I don't mean that in any
Of course.
bad way towards your old self, because obviously I became friends with your old self. I was like, wow, there's a better version inside of it.
Sure.
There's an old Jesse already. Wow.
And so I'm like, maybe I should do PCP, because like, what could we unlock in me? You know?
Josh on PCP
Wow.
is bananas.
Josh on
That's
PCP,
baloney.
that's peak Florida man.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
exactly
bro.
what it is.
He'll save Florida by himself. Dude.
I mean, the thing is I have only ever known non-straight edge Jesse, and I love him dearly. So I don't really care necessarily about past straight edge Jesse, because I've made such a good friend
Sure.
that's stoner Jesse. There's only a handful of people where I would genuinely care if they broke edge.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I've had so many friends that have, I just don't give a fuck. It's like, it's your
Am
life.
I one?
Yeah, for sure. I've got literally maybe like, there's genuinely probably 3 or 4 people where I would be heartbroken if they actually did. Everyone else, I just don't care. Like, it's your life. Do whatever the fuck you want, you know?
It's good.
Interesting.
We're adults.
Yeah, we're all growing up.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly.
We're all grown up, and opinions change, our life changes. So one time you have no kids. Some of you guys have kids. It's just like
Exactly.
life changes.
Chris actually grows weed.
Yeah.
I have grown up. For sport.
Chris wasn't always straight edge either.
Yeah, I used to smoke weed. I loved acid.
That's actually the biggest advocates for straight edge. It's
Chris.
like he was knee deep in it. He was knee deep in the
I wouldn't say-
mind altering.
I wouldn't say
game,
knee
bro.
You ever seen White Boy Rick?
Based after him, bro. Yeah. And then he went straight edge.
Okay.
He went the other way.
Yeah. What made you go straight edge, Chris?
I just honestly, I was smoking enough weed that I felt like I wasn't getting high anymore, and I was just getting burnt. Like I would smoke weed and then immediately just go, I'm not doing anything.
Oh yeah.
You know? And then
yeah.
I felt not productive.
opposite effect.
Yeah, like it stopped feeling fun and it started feeling dark.
I do know a lot of people like that. So it's like
So-
that happens. I don't think anyone's like, what's it called? Immune to that. You know what I mean? You definitely have to have I try to have like a regiment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I call it my medicine.
Medicine. Yeah, call it the medicine. It is.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, it's cool. I mean, I haven't been straight edge for let's see, I'm 39 now. I was broke edge when I was 21. So
Classic.
We'll beat your ass after
that's
this.
classic.
Good one. That's like now I can drink.
Cliche.
All right, let's party.
Yeah.
Cliche. When you're a kid and you see, going to Showcase and Chain, you see like people straight edge. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I was kind of following, but in a positive light, it kept me out of trouble.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say like
It did keep me out of like some serious trouble.
sometimes like a situation like that, like also when you're a kid, you don't know who you are yet.
No.
Right? So like whether or not you think that you're like I'm paving my own way, you're most likely mimicking something because you're trying. That's how you figure out who you are. Like what you connect to. I think there's a lot of people that when they were younger, they were influenced to become straight edge for whatever reason, whether that's a band or a older sibling or friends or whatever. And then eventually one day they're like, oh, this isn't who I am. And maybe they don't even like consciously understand that, right?
Sure.
Because it's like over a matter of time, we all change, but especially when you're young, I think you're just trying to figure out who you are. And sometimes you figure it out younger, and sometimes you figure it out when you're older, but still it's like, you being straight edge till you're 21, that's could have been a good thing because maybe
Totally.
you wouldn't have, maybe
Totally.
otherwise you would have had a drinking problem at 17 or some shit.
Oh sure.
You know what I mean?
I've already done something stupid.
Yeah.
One of my favorite straight edge stories that I always tell is I used to go to Comic-Con in San Diego back in the days when you could just like roll up and just buy a ticket at the fucking window, you know what I mean?
Humble brag.
Yeah, humble brag. But there was the author of. Will you look up actually real quick I can't remember his fucking name right now. Grant Morrison, I want to say Arkham Asylum.
Good memory. Grant Morrison.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's
He
him.
just
So,
says it.
so he's like
Who's this guy?
He's like a Scottish dude, and he wrote
kinda handsome.
he wrote a Batman book called the Arkham Asylum.
Okay.
And on the back of the comic, I remember when I was younger, I was reading it, and he said that he grew up in the Scottish punk scene, and him and all of his friends were straight edge. So when he wrote this, I think this was written in like the 80s. It's really dark and it's really twisted. And he said in order to achieve the like mental fucked upness of writing the book, he would just stay up for days at a time because he didn't partake in drinking or smoking.
This guy rocks.
So yeah, how sick is that? How sick is that? So I was straight edge at the time. So he was doing a signing, and I went to him. There's a photo, like a not a Polaroid, but like an actual photo. You had to go to Target and get your of me talking with him. And I asked him, I was like, I read this thing. Are you still straight edge? And he was like, I'm not still straight edge. But like it was by and far the most important part of my childhood.
Oh yeah.
And like I owe so much to that and shit. And he gave me this awesome answer, and I was like, that's how I feel. Like I'm glad I didn't start when I was a kid younger, because I would have for sure abused the absolute fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that.
I'm glad I waited till I was older to like be able to kind of you know.
I thought you were going to say that before you met him, you stayed up for days.
I mean, tour. Fuck.
Dave McKean did the artwork. Wow, he did the artwork for our first record.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Dave McKean. Wow.
Look at this, bro.
It's big world, small circles, man.
Yeah,
It's
hell yeah.
crazy. Wow.
Emotionally confusing.
That is.
I think the name of this episode should be called "Emotionally Confusing."
You know, sometimes when I get out of my own way, things just happen.
Yeah, sure.
For the better. The more I've been getting out of my own way, it's just things line up a lot better.
But yeah, anyway, that's what he said about straight edge is how I feel. So that's.
Have any of you ever tried that? Just stay up and try to get some kind of like.
Have you been on tour, bro?
Oh yeah, yeah. But that's like you're like just.
For sure, it's not the same thing.
Yeah,
but
because you're trying to sleep and you're sleeping like shit.
I'll remember the first time I actually got high. I remember feeling, oh, this isn't a feeling I've never felt before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it did feel like, oh, I just got off a 12-hour plane ride that I didn't sleep on, and I'm just a little like, my head was like, whoa. That was like the first time.
Horrible.
Yeah.
But you have the energy.